2021. What a start it's already been. A couple days away from my birthday, it's the 9th. And so much has happened already. Apparently it's 2021. I mean, there's no way of really telling, apparently. Because if you ask Siri, I asked Siri yesterday, how many days until 2021? And she said 359 days. Which makes no sense because she says the same thing if you ask how long until 2022. So, from what I've heard, the theories that I've heard is back in 2012, the Hadron Collider. I don't know if you know what the Hadron Collider, but it's this massive, like 2 mile, or I don't know how many miles, but it's this path, and they put in particles and make them go around this thing and then smash them together to create new elements. Well, apparently back whenever they started that in 2012, when they smashed these particles together, it created a singularity. And I don't know if you know what a singularity is, but it's the thing at the center of a black hole. So once it created that singularity, now we're living in that singularity where time and space might I don't know. Apparently we're having like different dimensional interference, and time isn't relative to the time that we're living. These are all just theories that I've heard, but yeah, 2020 was one hell of a ride, and it's already started off for 2021. Pretty weird. I mean, what's all happened? I mean, let's see. Kanye West, Kim K, they getting a divorce. She says she's tired of all the antics. She can't put up with him no more. Which, I mean, he sounded normal. Like whenever I watched him on Joe Rogan, he didn't really sound like he was real manic or anything. He sounded like he's really religious. So, I mean, that was the only thing about the interview that didn't bother me, but I was like, okay, dude, we get it. Like, you believe in God. We get it. I don't know why you got to bring it up every 10 seconds. But his ideas for running the world, like he wants everybody to thrive. He wants to create like a utopia for everybody. Like, that's something I can get behind. But apparently she's tired of it and wants to venture out, become a lawyer, and do the stuff like prison reform that she's been doing, which is cool, I guess. But, and then like the day after they said that they were getting a divorce, then they're going to hit Kanye with like, he's fucking this dude. What's that guy's name?
Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star, that nigga bitch. But I mean, I haven't seen any evidence that says he's fucking this dude. It's like somebody just said, I heard he was fucking this dude. And everybody's like, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe Kanye's fucking this dude. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that, but that's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. And I mean, all those Trump supporters taking over the Capitol, that was very interesting because, for one, let me make this clear. I'm all for overthrowing the government, storming these buildings and taking back what's ours, because these people don't give a fuck about us. They don't represent us. They represent big corp. They represent the rich, and they don't do anything to make life better for the regular working class people. So, first of all, fuck them. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say what those Trump supporters did is something that I'm against, because it's not. I wish we did shit like that, because it's so easy for us to do shit like that. And I feel like if Black Lives Matter and Trump supporters came together to do this, which we totally can, but it feels like they've got us so against each other. It's like they did this strategically. They treated the Trump supporters who took over the Capitol differently than they did Black Lives Matter, strategically, because they knew Black Lives Matter could have like joined the movement, but they wanted to show, because if they would have treated the Trump supporters the same way they would have treated Black Lives Matter, then everybody would have known we're all the same. So they treated one different. And they ran with the idea that, look, if this was Black Lives Matter, they would have been, that shit wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? They treated they had the National Guard out there protecting the Capitol whenever Black Lives Matter movements were happening. And they just let them walk. They let Trump supporters just walk into the Capitol and overthrow it. So I think it was a strategical thing. I don't know if they had like a insight to do that, or if it was strategically handled that way to create another division. But all my Black Lives Matter people out there, I know it does feel unfair that people can riot, just straight up riot, and not get the same treatment from people just peacefully protesting. That's not fair. I know it's not fair, which is weird, but also just come to the realization that Trump supporters are not your Trump supporters, and everybody, all Americans are not your enemy. We all have a common enemy, and they're going to do everything that they can to make us feel like we're each other's enemies, when that's not the case at all. Everybody needs to unite, in my opinion. And if we all came together and stormed Capitol Hill, the Senate, the White House, maybe then people will wake up to the realization of the power that the people hold. And that does sound like I'm inciting riots. So maybe for legal reasons, I should say you shouldn't do that. But also, it's something we definitely we could do. We could take everything that we want back from them. We hold everything. They just make us live under the illusion that they hold everything, when we're the ones that hold all the power. We're the ones that make the money. We're the ones that make the money. We're the ones that do all the work. We're the ones that make America great, not them. They don't do anything. It literally took them from March. When did we get that stimulus? Like April?
Like June? April or June?
I think it was April.
Or May?
Let's see. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. It took them 9 months just to say, oh, $1,200 isn't enough. We need to send out $600 more. And they shot it down at first. So, I mean, fuck all that, yo. Because they make, on average, a week, like $3,000 a week. I know they make like 6 figures, and they haven't missed a paycheck. And they're over there taking recesses and going on vacations, talking about how we don't need money, how we should still show up to work, or you can't go to work, but you still need to pay your bills. So fuck all that. 2021, I feel like there's tension brewing. I feel like everybody's waking up to the idea that all this is just a house of cards, and how easy it could fall over. Especially when the people who make everything happen decide not to make it happen anymore. Or can't make it happen. Because, I mean, if we all just stop paying taxes, if we all just stop paying rent, paying our mortgages, paying for anything, honestly. Because, like, if you say you work at McDonald's, anybody who comes to the drive-thru and they order food, you just give it to them without charging them. Like, what are they going to do about it? Eventually, they're just gonna stop sending the food to the restaurant and stuff, you know. But like, there's not a lot that they could do. Because I mean, stopping everything because they get everything from us too. Like, they get all their supplies from our grocery stores that we run. There's nothing they could do about it. I feel like I'm getting way too political right now. Way too political. What's something I could talk about, though?
mean, there's not really much to talk about, so you might as well just keep it that way.
Just keep it political?
Yeah.
Might as well just keep it political. Is what my wife says. I don't know if they can hear you.
Probably not.
They probably like whenever I'm asking questions, it's like I yell the question out and then I answer it myself. Like a weird guy.
Put like a little light bulb.
Put
like, ding.
Crop like Photoshop a little version of me talking in my ear. Yeah, Jeffree Star.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fuck. But I mean, yeah, it's a weird time right now. Very weird indeed. I'm really curious about what's going to happen because I feel like people, both sides, and I say sides, like, because that's what they make us feel, like we're on sides. But I feel like both sides are both feeling like they're getting hoed. And it's not much longer they can keep this game up, which is why, apparently, like in the Stimmy bill, they had they slipped in there. They had 180 days to reveal the existence of extraterrestrials. So that's like in June, 180 days. So I'm really wondering what's going to happen. Because once everybody knows that we're not the only life out there, that's going to shatter a lot of religions. That's going to shatter a lot of people's, it's going to give lots of people existential crises, you know.
Watch the Christians not even believe.
Yeah, I know. They're like, there is no God. I might as well murder everybody. It's like, God, that's all it took? That there's other life for you to just become immoral?
What if they don't believe in the aliens?
It's going to be hard to not believe aliens whenever they're just here. Like, you see his fucking spaceship coming, and you're like, that ain't real. That's the devil.
There's people out there.
Yeah, there's going to be people out there. That's the there's going to be all kinds of crazy people out there. Speaking of crazy people, I've met so many crazy people. It makes absolutely no sense how many crazy people are out there. Like, at my job during this election and everything, I live in a very conservative place, so there was so many people talking about how God anointed Donald Trump to accomplish a goal. And because the whole reason it got brought up is because I was like, it's crazy how he's like in his 70s and has so much energy, right? It's got to be on speed or something. There's no way he can be going, playing golf, giving speeches. There's no way he could do this at 70, his mid 70s, without being on some influence. And he was like, no, see, when God anoints people to do a job, he can give them all the energy they need and all the wisdom that they need to bring. I was like, as soon as he said God anointed him, I just started disassociating. I just started like staring at him and just shaking my head. You're right. Because I'm trying to get a sale. I'm trying to get this nigga's money. So it doesn't make me any better. Or does it? Does it? Because I do know. But I do want this nigga's money to feed my family. Makes me mad. Today I was talking about how, why is it so difficult? Or not difficult. I mean, it is difficult, but why do basic survival necessities like food, transportation, housing, why are all these things so expensive? Why are they so expensive? Like a car and a house, you have to finance for years just to own. That's how expensive that they are. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And I mean, like food, people can afford food, but still, like, why is food as expensive as it is? Like, how can you, I don't understand. I was talking to somebody about, like, I posted as a status and somebody was like, what did they say? Supply and demand. I was like, yeah, the demand to profit off of other people's needs. That's not cool. Why would you want to profit off of something somebody needs? Like, if you're a crack dealer, is it not immoral to get people hooked on something and now they need it, so they have to come back to you every time? That seems immoral. What does it mean to be human? You need food, water, shelter, and transportation now, because like you got to get around. Like, it's not like the store's right. Like, I'm a couple, I mean, in my case, the store is a couple of miles from my house, and I walk everywhere. I walk all the time. I try to limit how much I drive as much as possible, which is weird in my, sorry, I keep fucking burping, which is weird in my town. Nobody walks anywhere. People literally drive everywhere. Even if it's like not even a quarter of a mile, people will literally get in their car and drive to it. There's absolutely no walking going on. It baffles me how much people resist exercise or just exerting effort into things, when walking is literally the thing you're not born knowing how to do it, but like, it's so easy. How easy is walking? It takes no effort. Hardly any. Like, I can understand walking into the wind or walking when it's cold or walking uphill. But walking is so easy, yet people in my town will not walk anywhere. I go walking. Usually when I walk to the gym, it's like a 2-mile walk to the gym and then I walk back. So it's like 4 miles. After I worked out, and the walk there goes by, it only takes me 40 minutes to walk that far. And if I tell people, hey, yeah, I walk from this area all the way to my gym, they're like, God, that's a far walk. How do you do that? I'm like, I just keep walking. What are you talking about? Like, it's not hard. I don't understand people's reluctance to exercise and get some vitamin D, get some exercise, just use the things God gave you, I don't understand. But where was I going with that? Yeah, okay, so like, I can understand like if you live in like Dallas or like a big city like Los Angeles. Like, you can't walk everywhere. You might be able to walk to a couple of stores and stuff like that. But say you live or you work like 8 miles away from your house. You're not going to walk that every day. And you don't even want to bike that every day. So you're going to have to drive. So, I mean, that's a necessity. I don't understand why cars have to be at the lowest, like thousands, like 15,000 and up. Like all the way up to like $80,000, $100,000. A house is $200,000 to like $300,000. Like, that's decent homes. And these are things people need. And if you can't fucking finance those, like if you can't finance a house, okay, well just pay me rent. Even though you're not building any equity or anything. I've literally been renting for 4 years, and I did the math, and I've almost dropped in 4 years $45,000 on nothing. Just a place to live, a roof over my head to keep me warm, keep me sheltered away from the elements. And that's not even utilities or anything. That's just a home. The game's rigged, y'all. The game's rigged, and it's all a fucking scam. Like, people talk shit about pyramid schemes, but everything in this country, this capitalist country, is just an old fucking pyramid scheme. It's literally just an old pyramid scheme. Everything makes money for the people at the top, and it's a trickle-down effect. And by the time it gets to the end, there's barely any scraps, which makes people greedy, which makes people bloodthirsty. They'll do anything to get to the top, or at least higher than what they are. And that's what I told, like, they were like, do you see any way of us getting out of this? I was like, until you can't benefit off of being greedy, people are going to be greedy. That's just in our nature. If you look at chimpanzees, they're greedy. That's just how apes are. Apes are greedy for some reason. It's just in our nature. I don't know if it's from years of not being able to have resources and opportunity and stuff like that. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why people are so greedy. I even find myself being greedy. Especially like when it comes to my plate of food, I don't like sharing my food. I'm real greedy when it comes to my food. I don't know why. Once I'm full, then I'll share. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why the rich are so greedy. Because once they're full, once they're satiated, then they'll be more caring. But I don't think when it comes to money, I don't think you'll ever feel full. Because numbers are infinite. So when would you feel like you have enough money? Like with enough money, it takes you up a notch, takes you up a level of things that you could do and get away with. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to fix it. I'm not sure what it's going to take. I do know that it starts with people like me, people like you watching this video. It takes us coming together. And once we come together and realize I'm the same as you, you're the same as me. So let's figure out how to make this heaven on earth. There's no reason we can't. Just because things are the way that they are now doesn't mean that they can't be another way. People used to ride horses all the time. I'm pretty sure they said, there's no way I'm driving a car. There's no way I'm flying in an airplane. There's no way I'm going to use a fucking cell phone. If they saw that shit, they would freak out. And that's normal to us. There's absolutely no reason life can't be what we want. And if it's good for a few and shit for a majority, that's only going to last a little bit. It's got to be good for the majority and shit for a few. That's the only way it's going to work. Because there's going to be people that fucking can't get their shit together. They don't want nothing out of life. They don't have any ambition, any work ethic, any drive. They literally just exist. And for those people, I don't know what to tell you. Just keep fucking existing, I guess. Like, I do feel like people have a right to live. I do feel like you should be able to have a home, some sort of transportation, whether it's a moped or like an electronic bike. You should have food to eat. And if you're okay with just those things, like a roof over your head, the bare minimum food to keep you alive, and a thing to get you place from place, fine. Who am I to tell you should want more? If you don't want more, that's on you. But definitely, it shouldn't be so hard to exist. It shouldn't be so hard to be alive. Because nobody has to be here. Nobody wants to be here.
I wouldn't say nobody, but
Why would you want to be here? Like if you were playing a video game and you read through all the rules, you start at the bottom, and oh yeah, by the way, you're going to be born to a poor family, so it's going to mean you don't have any opportunity in your community. You're not going to have any opportunity whenever you go to school. You're going to get a subpar education. You're not going to have money to get a higher education. You're not going to have connections to get a good job. So, I mean, you should just get used to existing in poverty or slightly above poverty. Why the fuck would you want to do that? I can understand if you're some, like that movie we were watching. Oh, I get to go fucking snowboarding every Sunday, and Shit like that. Like, just privileged. If you were born into a privileged lifestyle, yeah, I can understand why you enjoy life, because there's aspects of life you get to enjoy. It's not just struggling constantly. Who wants to just exist to struggle for their whole existence? But shit. I mean, this is gonna be a short podcast. I don't really have much to talk about. I just came in here. I didn't even have a plan whenever I came in here. I just
started.
Yeah, I just started. So, welcome to 2021. Supposedly, if we're in a different dimension, cool, whatever. Who fucking cares? My mom said, what if we're in a dream? But yeah, y'all just keep on keeping on. Stay positive, or try to stay positive. Talk to people. Try and understand other people's perspectives, even if they seem on the opposite spectrum of where you are. I guarantee you're gonna find something y'all agree upon. I guarantee it. And tune in next time. Y'all fucking stay Gucci. And yeah, peace.